Sídhe and the Whispering Woods. Sídhe was a gentle, observant girl who lived in the green hills of Wicklow in Ireland. While other children liked to shout and run fast, Sídhe liked to walk softly. She moved through the world like a little mouse, stopping to look at moss on a stone or to whisper "hello" to the beetles crawling in the grass. She loved the ancient forest behind her house more than anything. This was Sídhe's special place, where she could sit quietly amongst the trees, listening to the breeze blowing the leaves and the red squirrels scurrying up and down them. But some grown-ups were planning something terrible. They wanted to build a big grey road right through the middle of the trees. One afternoon, Sídhe wandered deeper into the woods than usual, looking for a quiet place to think. Pushing back a heavy curtain of ivy, she found something she had never seen before: an old stone well, covered in thick, soft moss. "Hello," she whispered, leaning over the edge to see the water. Suddenly, her foot slipped on the damp moss. Sídhe tumbled forward, but she didn't hit hard water. Instead, she felt like she was falling through soft, swirling mist that smelled like wildflowers and rain. Whoosh! When Sídhe opened her eyes, she was still in a forest, but it was different. The leaves were a brighter emerald green, and the air sparkled with gold dust. She was in the Otherworld. She heard giggling. Peeking around a giant oak tree, she saw children playing tag. These weren't normal children. Their ears were pointed like leaves, and they moved so fast they looked like hummingbirds. "You found us!" a fairy boy laughed. Sídhe wasn't scared. She felt happy. She spent the whole afternoon playing hide and seek with the fairy children. But as the sun began to set, Sídhe stopped laughing. She looked at the beautiful trees and felt a tear roll down her cheek. "Why are you sad?" the fairies asked. "The big diggers are coming tomorrow," Sídhe whispered. "They are going to cut down the trees in my world to make a road. I'll never get to sit and listen to the leaves and watch the squirrels again." The fairy children stopped smiling. They looked at each other with serious, sparkling eyes. They whispered to the trees, and the trees seemed to whisper back. After telling her story, Sídhe felt very heavy and tired. "I don't know how to get home," she yawned. The fairy children made her a bed of soft, dry leaves under the ancient oak tree. Sídhe curled up in her little bed of leaves and closed her eyes, wishing she was in her own bed. When she opened her eyes again, she wasn't in the forest. She was tucked up in her own cosy room. Her dad was asleep in the armchair next to her, looking like he'd been waiting for her. Shia smiled, safe and warm, but she wondered if it was all just a dream. The next morning, the roar of engines woke the birds. The diggers had arrived. Shia grabbed her coat and ran with her dad to the edge of the forest. A group of neighbours was there, holding signs that said, "Save our trees." The construction workers tried to start the big yellow machines. They looked confused. Cough, splutter, clank. The engines wouldn't start. The keys got stuck. The digger bucket suddenly dropped mud on the foreman's toes. It was as if the machines were being tickled by invisible fingers. Shia felt a familiar tingle in the air. The same golden, sparkling feeling from the other world. She smiled, a secret smile. "This equipment is haunted," one worker yelled, throwing his hat on the ground. Because nothing would work, the new road had to be cancelled. The ancient trees stayed exactly where they were. Now, whenever Shia walks softly through the Wicklow woods with her dad, she stops and listens. If she is very quiet, she can hear the faint, happy sound of her fairy friends playing, safe in the trees forever.